Skeet Ulrich is awesome, and he's absolutely a surprise for a lot of people because I think people perceived him in a certain way, and the emotions that he was bringing and the depth of the performance is stunning. It's really spectacular.
I don't know what we're doing here anymore. I mean, it's like being kids again, and that's the thing I marvel at with Jean and Lawrence and Matt and I mean all of us. There's a real kid-like quality to the work, and I think that's really important that people, you know, that you maintain that. My job, I felt, was to bring the feeling of desperation in without necessarily even knowing what he's desperate about or why he needs this so bad, but that it's clear without the explanation. I never wanted anyone to know that he would help until the moment he does help, and so you really try and play against any sort of softness or type until, you know, that moment comes and he does help. I didn't want to build the whole character around someone that would cave in.
Palmer, you with us? Let's go. Get back to work.
Palmer he's a guy who grew up in the wrong side of the law. He found God, he found a new path, and somehow the circumstances pulled him back into doing, of course, the wrong things. He's definitely a man with a constant conflict in his head.
You and the devil was real tight not too long ago, huh?
God saved my life, yes.
But we all have needs, you know, and there's always temptations. I wanted to do something completely different, and in which I'm not playing the good guy.
There was one thing with Amaury in particular where his character does something pretty nasty at one point in the film, and he encounters an emotional response that he wasn't expecting. Came up with this scene of him just washing his hands of the crime he just committed, and it's one of my favorite parts in the film. There's no black and white, good and bad in this film, and I thought that was really, really fun, that you see the different levels and how people are reacting to the situation.
You are really rooting for these guys in a way to actually steal the money, you know?
Has Eagle Shield ever got jacked?
Once, a couple of guards got killed in a 5-man ambush.
How much they get?
Not $1.
Jean Reno is the man. I mean, there's just no other way to put it.
And set. And action.
It's an old guy working for Armored for several years, you know, for a long time, and he's divorced and he's kind of lonely guy, and he will agree to rob the money because maybe he wants to finish his life in an island. When you work with good professionals, you do not have to explain anything. You do not have to talk a lot. Everybody understands everybody. You talk with the young actors because you want to tell some stories about old times, etc., etc. But with good actors, it is like when you dance with somebody who knows how to dance, you do not have to explain where you put your foot.
Cops! There's a cop car coming!
Originally, the character of the sheriff was someone who was a little bit older, and I was initially a little worried that Milo was a young, good-looking guy. Day one, when Milo showed up, he was the cop.
He has to assert himself as a figure of power, even though he's young. You know, the interesting side of Eckhart and playing him is that, you know, he's a younger cop. He finds himself in a situation that I'm sure a lot of these guys talk about wanting to see some kind of action, wanting to do something great with their job, but when it comes down to it, you never want to get into pulling a weapon out and getting shot and being in the back of the truck, bleeding, dying.
I'll be back. Why would you come back? Because I'm the reason you're in this mess, Jake.
I think his youth helped him stay alive. He wasn't at the end of his career. It was, no, this is a new beginning, and this, I'm gonna live.
I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. Is everything okay?
You have this cast of like 6 or 7 armored truck guards who are supposed to work every day in this small armored truck and drive around and spend their days together, and they should have like a very, you know, friendly, sociable, like, you know, jovial dynamic, and they do as a result of Nimrod and the way he handles the set.
I was blessed to have the cast that I had. We were able to achieve something that hasn't been done for a while. I think it's a very elegant, suspense-filled heist flick, and I don't think we've seen that for quite a while now.